Okay, so as you guys can tell, I'm not here right now, and so I wanted to make this video so that we knew what we were doing today. So you should be done with everything on your checklist for day one. That stuff is definitely completed at this point. You should have started yesterday, maybe even this first part of day two, and I need you to get all the way done with this during class, number 4, and then you can go ahead and start 5 if you are done with 4, but 5 needs completed for homework if you did not get the chance to start it during class. So 5 is your homework tonight. When we look at that, when we look at our Light Lab 9 and we go into this, we can see that this is number 4, the experimental design template. And when you look at this one, we should be doing the problem and the question. That's just your purpose. Okay, so what are you trying to solve as a problem, and then form a question about it. Your research was from those videos that you watched yesterday. The hypothesis. You know we're talking about frequency and wavelength, so if you do this to your frequency, what happens to the wavelength? Experimental design, independent, dependent variable, control group, constants. What material is your procedure? Remember, don't just tell me the scientific method. When you do your procedure, you can, however, just tell me that you set the website to the settings indicated on blended schools. You don't have to go through and tell me set damping switch to 0. Click the ruler and timer boxes. Set the tension to switch to high. You don't need to do that. You can just tell me that you set the settings to what blended schools told you to set them to. After you do that, it asks you to create a chart. And how I want you to create a chart is like this. Okay, I already went through and I made this. You're going to have frequency and wavelength. You're obviously changing the frequency. I gave you those, 20, 35, 50, 65, and 80. And these wavelengths, which I just made up. So do not take these. They're made up. You have no idea what they're going to look like. You're going to actually have to use the wave program to measure that. And how you would measure that is, we're just going to start this on 35. It's got no end. Follow the directions on how to do that. And then you would click pause and play. And then what you can do is you can actually move this ruler. So you set it at the top of the wave, you measure to the top of the other wave, and you get that distance. That unit is measured in centimeters. Frequency, which if you remember from your reading yesterday, is measured, frequency is measured in hertz. Okay, so we've got frequency, we've got wavelength, we put that into a table. I want you to take a screenshot of that and put it into here, and then I want you to use the other source that we have on Blended Schools called Create a Graph. And what Create a Graph is a website that helps you go through and organize your thoughts to put them into a graph. And so this one is easy. I'm just going to use, you'd obviously have your title, you'd have your axis labels, and I'm just going to show you 2. So we know that we had 20, we know that we had 35 for our frequencies, and I think I had 80 and, or I think I had, what did I have? Let's just go back and look. I had 60 and 47. So we'll go 60 and 47. Now, obviously, this isn't going to look exactly how we want it to look, but you can see how that starts to come into effect. Okay? Once you get the graph completed, you'll take a screenshot, you'll enter it into there. You go through and you make some claims, and you provide the evidence. Now, your claims, I have given you things to think about with the claims. The relationship between frequency and wavelength. The relationship between energy and frequency. You got to think about that one. Okay? And then you have the power conclusion. Okay? That should get you through that part. Then you get into the constructing the spectrum. That'll be your homework tonight. You've got some reading and follow the directions on how to construct the spectrum. There's your homework. Okay? Hopefully this video will get you through the day. Like I said, I should be back before you guys leave, but just in case I don't, use this video to help you through.